looking at everything that is happening in our country, from the last time we spoke to now, I remember the last time we spoke about the National Cathedral, we spoke about Ken Ofri-Atta and the economy, we spoke about, we'll be getting into these issues. Between then and now,
yep.
Have we got any better? Have we got any worse as a country? What is your reading of the picture?
What a synthetic world we are living in. Things have gotten worse. And anybody who cannot see that needs to have their eyes checked. Things have gotten worse. Things have gotten worse because there doesn't seem to be a clear plan where this nation is going. For every plan, there must be a purpose. And then for every purpose, there must be some targets that we are working at reaching. And then we must say, are we looking at our needs before our wants? As you and I speak today, it's just been found that apparently some miners have been using cyanide, so they can get their gold quicker. What will cyanide do? It will poison the water. It will kill people. And we have a president who has appointed people to work with him to safeguard, first and foremost, the wellness of the nation. Because if we are not well as a people, we cannot even start discussing prosperity. Cyanide to mine gold illegally in Ghana. And we are living with it. We have broken down homes that were built for judges, made those judges leave that space, and we are spending huge sums of money to accommodate those judges. And we have built a dam on a site where we claimed we were going to build a cathedral in a nation that is in dire need of hospitals.
You say we've built a dam because there's a hollow there that has not been filled. No, some people say it's the most expensive hollow anywhere in the world.
I like to think that there was a purpose for everything that was being done. So maybe the thinking was, if we don't even get to cathedral level, at least it will be a dam for a while. Who knows? We might be able to generate electricity for the ridge area. You never know. And then you look at the mat set deal, which people want to forget. A mat set was 7 cedis. But Ghanaians sat down and watched our brothers and sisters in government supply mat sets to our children for something in the neighborhood of 80 cedis or more, with some accoutrements which the children and the teachers did not ask for. And now there is yet another promise that we're going to replace your textbooks with laptops. So who is also going to cream the top of that? Let's stop this thing. We are a rich nation led by a poor thinking leadership that is enriching themselves by making the people of Ghana poor. Because like I said, and I was hoping it will go to court so I can bring all the documents to show, the motivation for most of our borrowing was the enriching of the few people who were influencing the borrowing to make the nation poor whilst they got richer. Now look where we are. Look where we are. Look what monies we've spent on the dam at Rage, and we've gotten 600 million. 600 million, isn't that money that Jospon Group can give you?
In fact, you consider the cost of what you call the dam, and it's in the region of $400 million plus. That's almost the same as the first tranche we've got.
Accra Friendship Club, of which I'm a member, or East Legon Executive Club, of which, many of my friends are members, must be able to raise that money for you if they believe that you will use the money prudently.
Are you saying KKD doesn't believe that the NPP, this administration, is going to use IMF money conscientiously for Ghana? That's what Mr. President said. Did you listen to him when he spoke yesterday? The 29th update on COVID-19.
Well, I watched him with sadness because I've told you, I have lost faith in this administration. I am just praying that this administration will be able to stay alive and live peacefully. And hopefully we can stop ex gratia for these people who have ingratiated themselves with the people of Ghana and made things worse for the people of Ghana. In a nation where young girls cannot buy sanitary towels because there are 14 different taxes on sanitary towels, we have a Council of State whose advice the president does not need to take, but is still paid, and they also receive ex gratia. And these people are still in leadership, and we are thinking, is this the best we can get? Like they said in the Wakanda movie, Is this your king?
You say we're a rich nation led by a poor thinking
Leadership. Yep.
And then you talk about people cutting deals.
Should I give you another reason why we're poor thinking leadership?
You could, but just let me pose the question.
Go on.
So that we are a people who have leaders who like to cut corners to fill their pockets rather than
Without
to
a
line
doubt.
their pockets rather
Without
than
a
provide
doubt.
for the people.
Without a doubt.
What then do you make of that GNPC tussle? You know, the one
I
involving
don't
Freddie
even-
Blay,
I don't even-
the energy minister, cease and desist. And
Freddie
now he
Blay
says-
has become Pontius Pilate. He says, I wash my hands.
Right. He says he's now going to cease and desist.
But what does that mean? No, what does that mean? Look, even the class prefect, when there's too much noise in the class, right? And the school board or the governors of the school come by to say, what's happening in this class? The class prefect cannot say, I wash my hands. Now, if a 10-year-old will not say, I wash my hands when his class is making noise, how does somebody at that level of government say, I cease and desist? What does that mean? Look, my mother said something that I wrote down. You know, I go and sit with her. You know, she's going to be 83 in September. And, no, 84 in September. And I converse with her. And then she says the most profound things. And I had to write this down. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to write a whole book on this. I say, Kwesi Cheye. Akoma pa eni akukuduro. No kware ka ene fa wo homa edemufua akoma pa ene akukuduro no kware ka ene fa wo homa edemu befua saa niama wei onifrafuo mpo ohu ni anaso esie mpo ote enti no kura ne Ghana yempanyimfo no wo ma yeyi wo me ya because wo munye yempanyimfo because yempanyimfo ye papa mo ye nanano mo ene ya hemfo ne ya maame mo. These people are our elected public servants. We have given them all the perks so they will live well with their families, so they will do right by the people, so they can speed through traffic, so they will be safe and nobody can attack them, so they will have a policeman looking, you know, after them, so nobody can attack them. Pay them well, so they can also pay their domestics well. And how do they serve us? How do they serve us? When people's fathers go to hospital and they say there's no bed and they die, and you say, okay, I'm aware of that, but I'm building a cathedral because I made a promise to my God. So what next? Somebody comes and says, well, I worship stones, so I'm going to go to the Afajato mountain and commission that whole area and make it the stone grove and also develop it into something with whatever money. No, we don't bring you into power to come and do what you want to. Like Thomas Sowell said, people will tell you that this is the public interest, when in actual fact, they are only doing their selfish desires.
Is that what you saw in the Freddie Blay case?
The country is...
Is that what you saw in the Freddie Blay instance?
But of course. You see, and...
He says his hands are clean.
All these things must go to court. Now, citizens are going to have to take cases to court. Look, there's one I want to go to court. I want us to enact something on nepotism. You know, when JFK made his brother, 35-year-old who had never tried a case in court, the Attorney General, right? After he had died and gone, even though people said he was a good president, and he also made, his brother-in-law head of the Peace Corps, the people said no. So after he had died, and another person was in power, they put forth a document that was enacted into law. The act on nepotism. So once you're president, you can't employ any relative.
Should we get to that point in this country?
We have to, because
this administration...
The administration has shown us that nepotism is real.
But
it's ugly.
Isn't it shocking? Because
it's
there
ugly.
were complaints about the previous administration, and probably the only
Which is
person
why
that
they
could be
should have
pointed
done
to
it.
was Bawa Mokhtari.
No.
And now, as many would say, there's quite a list.
The nepotism is ugly. Look, there are some people who do not have finances to come and give you money for your campaign. but they queue to vote. Right? And they have studied, they have mastered their area of work. You say, it's got to be my family before everybody else. So we have to think of a law on nepotism. This is something I expect the Ghana Bar Association to be talking about. Because I think their silence in this administration is deafening. It's deafening. Is it because the president is a lawyer? So it's a courtesy to one of us? It's worrisome. I'm asking the question. It's worrisome.
And others have posed